Managing a small team or business comes with a unique set of challenges. With limited resources and manpower, it's easy for things to feel chaotic and out of your control. How can you, as a leader, accomplish your goals while keeping your team engaged, effective, and accountable? This podcast will give you practical strategies you can implement now to lead your team or business to reach its fullest potential. Welcome to the Organizing Chaos podcast with your host, Danny Coleman.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Organizing Chaos, where we talk about small, practical strategies for small teams and small businesses. So I hope you have been enjoying the interviews that I've been doing recently. I've been enjoying them. It's been a lot of fun getting to talk to a lot of different entrepreneurs, talk to them about how they got to where they're at, how they got to do what they're passionate about now, what they did to get there, and talk about the struggles along the way. And the stuff that they have to share. So if you haven't checked out any of the interviews that I've been doing, please be sure to check them out. Like I said, I found them enjoyable. I think that you'll find them enjoyable too, and hopefully get some practical stuff to take away from that. So I want to take a break from the interviews for a little bit because I want to talk a little bit about the system that I use to help people get organized in their business. And it's this system really is it's been pieced together over time. It's cumulative. In fact, it's dynamic, I guess. It's not static. It's going to be always improving. However, this is what it's been for a little while now. And so I wanted to take the time to share it with you guys in an 8-part series. So for the next 8 weeks, I'm just going to talk about one step in the process. It's an 8-step process. I call it the Organizing Chaos process, to really kind of bring some organization and some stability and accountability, as well as authority and reliability into your small team or your small business. So like I said, I'm going to go through all 8 steps over the course. So these are going to be smaller episodes than normal. That way you can, if you found me after I've already done all 8, you can listen to them all pretty quickly. And then also just again to take a little break from the interviews, which have been, they tend to run a little longer. And but without further ado, I'm going to jump right into it. This first step is the absolute most crucial step. That's why it's step number 1. And step number 1, when it comes to organizing your business and getting what you want out of your business, it has to do with mindset, and it has to do with specifically your mindset. When you're a leader or you're an entrepreneur, you started a business, you're a manager, whatever, you're at the top. Everything that's going wrong in your business is your fault. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's the truth. Because you have the ability to change whatever you want about your business. If your business is dictating the way your life is, then you're not in charge of your business. Your business is in charge of you. Basically, you just created a job for yourself. If that's what you want, that's fine. You won't want to listen to the next 7 steps that I have to talk about. So the getting clear on your own goals and what you want out of the business is crucial. This is really difficult. This is not something that we do as business owners. Oftentimes, to start a business, you have to not be overly obsessed on what the end result is, because you may have a very grand idea of what you want to do. I know I do for my goals in terms of in regards to my own personal business. And so when those goals, when you visualize them, they're really big. They're really large things to accomplish. And oftentimes those can actually keep you from taking action because you're so daunted by all the work you have to do to build your empire or to build whatever it is you're trying to build. So most small business owners and entrepreneurs that I've met, they actually don't have that end goal clear inside. They got a direction, but the end goal is not super duper clear. And as such, it's just a natural way that a business has started, is it's going to be chaotic for a while. And again, this is why I do what I do. I help small businesses get organized because they're chaotic at the beginning. Every business is, but my goal is to try to help businesses get out of that chaotic mode. So you started your business, you know what direction you wanted to go into, and you're trying to figure out what exactly needs to happen to get there. But all along the way, you're kind of adding new things to your business. You're adding new employees, new processes, new procedures. You change locations. All kinds of things happen along the way, and so it can be difficult to remember why it is you started this business in the first place, or what it is you want out of this. So that's what the first. There's only really 2 parts to this step. Step 1. The first part is, what is your relationship to your business? What do you want? What's the ideal relationship that you have with your business? think about it in a couple different ways. First of all, you're the owner. If we're talking about small business owners here, if you're the owner, then what are you doing in your business that an employee is able to do or could do or has done in the past? So you have to think about what are you doing where you're serving your business and what are you doing as far as your business serving you, right? Owner versus employee. You're always going to be the owner, unless of course you sell it. So what are you doing in an employee capacity? Think about it. What do you want to be doing? In about 5 years, do you still want to be doing the social media posts? Do you still want to be ordering people around every day, giving marching orders? Do you want to still be the strategy person? Do you want to have your business pretty much run more or less on autopilot and you just kind of come in quarterly, make sure the numbers are doing good, and if things are on track and just solving only the really, really big problems? You have to figure out what you want. And that's what's hard about this. And that's why if you're having issues right now in your business or stressing you out or you're working too many hours, then this is probably why. Now, again, I'm really speaking to the people who've been around, their businesses have been around for 2, 3 or more years. In the first 1, 2, 3 years, I've noticed it's always got to be chaotic because you've not quite figured out what you're trying to get done yet. So I'm speaking more to you who are beyond that mark. But that said, if you're still under the 3-year mark, it's important that you go ahead and start thinking about these things now because it's going to help the decision-making process that you use as far as making decisions in your business later. When you're thinking about a certain way to grow the business, you're going to think, does this fall in line with the ideal relationship that I want to have with the business? And so on, et cetera. So I won't get too far into the details because those details are going to come later in the process. But it starts out by figuring what is your ideal relationship with the business. And that is how you can figure out then where you are versus where your business is at and how much are you going to be interacting in the day-to-day operations of your business. The second thing is figuring out what your ideal schedule is, or you've heard me talk maybe before about the perfect day. The perfect day or the ideal schedule is all about how you're spending and managing your time. So when you wake up, when is it that you want to wake up? When do you want to wake up? Don't think about when you have to get up in order to do X, Y, Z for your business. When do you want to get up? When do you want to wake up? When do you want to eat breakfast? Who do you want to be able to eat breakfast with? What kind of car are you driving? What does your commute look like? Do you have a home office or are you going into an office? What's your team look like? Is this a big team? Has it grown large? Do you have multiple franchises now? Or is it still a 1, 2, 3 location, in your local area? Thinking about things like this helps you get clear on what it is you're trying to, again, accomplish with your business. Your business is a vehicle that's supposed to take you to a certain place. In every instance that I've ever worked with a business owner, including myself on this, when I think about my business and what I want it to do for me, I'm very clear on the destination that it's supposed to arrive to. And usually when you start your business, you're like that too. You're like, hey, I really like baking bread. I'm a great baker. And so I want for my day to pretty much be full of baking, or I get to do 5 hours of baking and the rest of the day is mine or whatever. You don't think, okay, man, I can't wait to be a baker and a bookkeeper and an HR person and, a manager and an operations person, these are all the other positions that happen as your business grows. So for you, how you want to spend your time, you got to get clear on, you got to get clear on how you want to spend your time so that you don't end up doing all these other things. So think about when you're waking up, like I said earlier, when you're waking up, how are you eating? What's your fitness level? Just things like that. Just anything about your life that you can think of like, man, that'd be awesome if it was like this. Write that down. Get clear on that and have a document that pretty much says that, exactly how that perfect day should go. I'm telling you right now, it works. For a long time, I thought this was really kind of some hippy-dippy mumbo-jumbo stuff. It was really like, oh, please, come on. Really, I'm going to write it down. It's just going to become real. No, you're not going to write it down and it just materialize. But when you write it down, you make it real in the sense of you're planting your flag in terms of here's where I want my life to get. Here's where I want my business to take me. And you make all your decisions aligning with the decisions that you're making here in the mindset step. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse or go into what all are the implications of this, but hopefully I've made the point very clear that everything starts with, when it comes to your business or your team, everything starts with you. And everything that happens in your business is a result of how clear or unclear you are on your goals, because your business is supposed to serve you, and first and foremost, because that's who, if it doesn't serve you first and foremost, you're not going to do a good job serving your customers or your employees for that matter. So make sure it serves you first and foremost, and then everything else will fall in line in terms of how it serves your employees and how it serves your customers. So I hope that this was helpful. And if you are listening to me live, please follow along with me. It would be, I'm giving this process away, and I'm kind of working on some worksheets actually right now so that you can kind of fill in the blank, do this on your own. This is what I help businesses do. This is what they can hire me to help kind of bring the accountability and the guidance through this process. But this is also something that you can totally do on your own with your own, without me or without anybody else. You can do this on your own. And I encourage everyone to do this, to go through this 8-step process. And again, start here with step 1 on your mindset stuff. And I would be happy to answer any kind of questions that you might have about this step. My goal is to help businesses get organized and for the businesses to serve the owner so that the owner is happy, which then means that the employees are happy. And if the employees are happy, then your customer is going to be happy. And when you have, that's the goal. That's what we all want, I believe. So anyways, like I said, if you have any questions, be sure to reach out to me, dannycoleman.me. I'd be happy to answer any questions for you. Jump on a quick consult call if that's something you're interested in. But also, if you have any topic ideas or you'd like to hear me hash something out on here, or if you're interested in being on my podcast or having me on yours, I'd be happy to hear from you. Again, dannycoleman.me. You can follow me on Instagram at @IamDannyColeman. And yeah, that's all I've got for you guys. I hope that you're doing well, and I'll catch you later.
Want more? Go to dannycoleman.me to download Danny's free small business hiring guide, which includes tips, templates, and tools, plus a step-by-step process you can use to find and keep high-quality employees for your small team or business.